When I saw the title for An Adventure in Make-Believe, I was really curious because pretty much every Barney episode is an adventure in make-believe, so I was keen to see what they do with this. And it turns out it is quite simply just a celebration of the power of the imagination, and there is a great variety of scenarios that the children imagine, and it's pretty decent. While I do generally prefer the ones with a much stronger lesson, for example, eating healthily or staying safe or learning about numbers, anything that focuses on the imagination is really brilliant, and Barney excels at doing this, and needless to say, this episode is no exception. This is the 15th episode of the second season of Barney and Friends. It features Barney and BJ. Baby Bop is in it for a little bit, and the kids who are in this include Min, Shawn, and David. And some interesting trivia from fandom.com. This is actually the first time they have 3 children rather than 4. And honestly, it doesn't bother me. I didn't feel like we were missing a character. I think having 4 kids is brilliant, but it works just as well with the 3 of them. And apparently it's also the first time that there are more boys than girls. But to be fair, usually we have a pretty even ratio. It is usually 2 boys, 2 girls. So I just thought that was quite interesting. And as always, I will go through the songs and talk about things that I liked. I watched Barney for the nostalgia, but to be honest, there was no real nostalgia for me in this. The songs that I enjoyed were songs that I've come to love with watching Barney, but actually I don't think any of the songs were from my childhood. So that's quite unusual for there to be a Barney episode without one nostalgic song. But as I said, they are songs that I have come to enjoy through watching Barney. And each of them gives us a different imaginative environment, and I will talk about those as we get there. So I will now go through the songs, and we have The Little Bird, which is a song that the children sing at the beginning because they're bird watching and they pretend to be birds at one point. I think that's really fun. We then have Just Imagine, and I kind of figured this would be in this. It's actually in it twice, which I don't mind, but I feel like they could have taken the opportunity to put in a different song the second time. It actually ends with Just Imagine again before I Love You. We then have If I Live Under the Sea, which is a really great, lively song. They're obviously pretending to be fish and pretending to be underwater. Then we have a version of Home on the Range, and then the airplane song where they are pretending to be in an airplane. And then we have Jungle Adventure, where, as I'm sure you can guess, they're pretending to be in the jungle. We have a great mix of indoor scenes and outdoor scenes. It starts off outdoors, then we go back indoors, and then we finish off being outside at the end, which definitely helps to keep things quite interesting. And I thought it was pretty good. As I said, I do prefer the ones where there's a stronger lesson, and that's not so much the case here. And it's not very nostalgic for me either, so it's not a personal favourite, but it does have a lot to offer. It's very creative. The songs are pretty great, even if they're not nostalgic for me. So I can't really complain. I can't fault it. An Adventure in Make-Believe is ultimately a pretty decent Barney episode.